Hey guys, Richard here with Retro Reviews, brought to you by the Geeks of Retro. Either which way, just had to make something funny out of that. Today, we are going to talk about mic stands. Yes, as we all know, people like having nice stuff, and I have had a hard time finding a mic stand that can handle the weight of the Shure SM7B, which, as you can see here, I've got different options. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go from cheapest to most expensive, and we're going to talk about the features, the benefits, the pros and cons. So guys, stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Live from Metroplex Studio, welcome to the Geeks of Retro.
And guys, don't forget that me and my little man, we do stream live on Twitch every Tuesday through Saturday. So if there's anything you see that we've talked about here, or maybe there's some things I missed, guys, don't forget to jump into our chat and let's chat it up. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon notification so that way you get notified when we go live and we drop new videos for you. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is the boxes. You know, the box that this came in was just, you know, actually I think it came in a bag if I remember correctly. It was kind of depressing. You know, and it came with this, and it came with this little mount. That's it. Compared to some of the other ones of these that I have bought in the past, I do like the upgrade that they did on these mounts. They made them out of cast aluminum, so they're a little bit more durable. They don't bend as easy, and they can hold a tidbit more weight. So this one here, the Rode, well, we'll go with the Compass first. As you can see here, the Compass box isn't huge. Well, it's huge, but it's not like pretty or anything like that. They don't, you know, they didn't put a lot of effort into making it, you know, aesthetically pleasing, because again, it's a box. What are we going to do with these normally? We throw them away. So then we had the Rode PSA1, which of course then it comes with a much fancier box, and it has a sleeve, and then the Rode arm is actually sealed up on the inside. So I kept this box because I like the look of it. It looks, honestly, that's the reason why I have it up here. I've had it up here for a while. I like the look of it. I think it looks nice. It's aesthetically pleasing to me to store and display. But now, like I said, as far as this goes, that with this kit here, it came with a very basic 3/8 adapter for most of your traditional cameras, webcams, things like that. And then this adapter, and then the desk mount here, which has a very large, we'll do a complete unraveling here, because I do in my toolbox here I have a measuring tape. So fully open, you're looking at exactly 2 1/4. Well, I'd say about 2 1/8, because it's, yeah, about 2 1/8. So that, but again, most of your desks aren't going to be, they're mostly inch and a quarter, sometimes 1.5 inches at the thickest. So but the biggest dilemma with this El Cheapo is the reach. That and durability, you know, the build, you got your springs on the outside, so as you bend this, your mic's gonna pick up every bit of that spring flex. Any desk noise, like I've had issues where I've had these on my desk before and I had a mic on them, just that little tap like that, you're gonna hear everything through this arm, and it's annoying. That's the reason. But weight wise, the problem is with these cheapos, it'll hold weight. I've had a DSLR on one of these before. I've actually hooked up this mic on one of these before. But the problem is that I had to over torque these screws here, the tensioners, to tighten it up. And even still, it would still slowly but surely start to sag over time. And it just would not hold. So then I'd have to go back in, retighten again. I had to go through and retorque all these other screws to make it even tighter, so that way it would somewhat hold. As long as you're not moving it, it would do the job. But again, at your maximum reach, you are, we'll say maximum horizontal, you're looking at roughly 28 inches. So your reach off of the desk though, which isn't much, I think is like 20, if I remember quickly. So at your maximum reach here, you're only, from here to here, you're 24 about 24, 25-ish. But again, if you're gonna bring it, that's putting it way up here, you know, versus where it needs to be, which, you know, again, reach sucks on these things. Another issue is that, like, I have really big monitors. I have 32-inch monitors. So this here, I had to go between monitors instead of being able to go over tops. These here, they have both the same specs. They both hold up to 2.4 pounds. They have on a horizontal, they have their max reach is 32 inches. So they have full 360-degree spin. So that's the bonuses on both of these. Now this one here has, they both have a 2 1/4 depth here for your desk. This one here is made out of a hard, it's a cast steel for the main mount itself, but it's a plastic. It's a ABS plastic up here for this one, this part. I wasn't a big fan of that. There's this Phillips screw on the inside that holds this piece to this piece. I didn't like the fact that it wasn't a one-piece structure, but that's me. Now I did like the very, very large and thick pin that they put in the bottom of this, so that way you get that nice even look. But now one of the biggest things, and it's smooth spinning, so I did like that as well. Now one of the biggest things I didn't like about this is there's a lot of plastic. Now that's not to say much because they're looking to make it aesthetically pleasing as well. So I'm very happy with that but there's a lot of plastic on this device compared to the Rode PSA1, which is all metal. See, the whole entire assembly is all metal. Now, another thing that I did like, I like about the blue is the thickness. If you look at it, it is a cast aluminum base, but it's thick and it's smooth. All your cables and everything that hold this all together, all internally taken care of. And now in the bottom of this, there's actually, this screw right here is actually a tensioner screw. So you can adjust the tension on how much, or you know, how hard it is for this thing to move up and down. I did like that as well. So, but everything as far as the coils and the cables and stuff that run through to be able to keep this thing doing what it needs to do are all internally sealed, so you don't have to worry about if like one breaks, you're not going to get hurt. It's not like these springs where they're on the outside. Now with the PSA1, it's the same thing. Everything is internally held up on the inside. Now the one thing I did like with this is that I did but didn't. Once again, it is a two-piece deal. You have your screw through the inside that holds it all together. Actually, the screw's on the bottom side on this one, but it's a solid cast steel for this, and they went with a aluminum base for this. One of my biggest things that I don't like about it, I did like, but I don't like this here. I don't like the way this is it looks cheap, and it doesn't feel cheap. I mean, but again, it looks cheap, and it definitely does not rotate very nicely, you know, compared to the blue. The blue has a more even centered axis right here for the pen, versus this one here is more cantered off to the side, so you have more lean to it. Whereas with the blue, you don't have that lean. It's, you know, your center point of gravity is dead center, so you're getting an even pressure all the way around, which I think is a great thing. Now, like I said, weight wise, oops, don't tell anybody to do that. But weight wise, the PSA1 hands down is heavier. I think this one here weighed in at like 2.5 pounds, almost 3 pounds by itself, where this one here barely weighs a pound. And that says something. But again, they've tested these time and time again, because you got to think the Blue Yeti is what this was designed for, and the Yeti Pros. That's a heavy microphone, just like the Shure SM7B. So it needed to be able to hold that weight. So even though, you know, sometimes you have to take that into consideration when you're looking at these, what's going to be more beneficial to you. Now, one of the things that I am an adamant fan about, I love about the Blue, wire management. That is the number one thing that has been one of the biggest issues when it comes to mic stands is wire management, because you know that's all you need is just another freaking wire to be all over the place. The Blue, hands down, has the best wire management out of all three of these. They actually, the way it runs is literally it would go, you know, your mic is here, just like such, okay, and then your wire, your XLR cord goes from here up and over and straight down through this center track. And I like that. It only comes out right here and then goes right back in. Now, just because I do like the way they ran that, I don't like, you can see it here. See the imperfection in the material? I know they did that intentionally, so that way you have a way to pull that up and out of the way to get your wire back up underneath, but I don't like that. I think that looks hideous. I think that it should not look like that because you don't need that. But that's an imperfection. That's a flaw in the material, and destruction or the quality of the build. It just should, to me, it looks like somebody tore it. Like this here's been broken and torn, and that's not cool to me. I don't like it. But yes, otherwise, cable running straight down and through here, out, and then down in where you need it to go. And that's where the PSA1 falters. Yes, they do have the guidance for right here, for your track, for your cable to management to come over. But that's it. Then it just kind of sits here, and then they have this here for the next bend. So as your mic's on there, the cable would run from here, down, over, and then down. But there's no way to hold it on there. They did give these, which I think are great. But again, the wire's exposed, it's out there. And if you're weird like I am, where you like to have that clean look, the PSA1 fell short heavily. Now, as far as each one of these mic stands go, price range, this here's about a $20. On a cheap level, you can get this for about 20 bucks. The Blue Compass, this one here is 100 bucks. Right now, again, price depending on scalpers. And then you have the PSA1, which I got mine for 100 bucks, but before the scalpers, I think they're going, I've seen them roughly about 129. Out of all of these, I love these two. They do exactly what I need them to do. They hold, I have two of these Shure SM7Bs. That was a little dirty. But I have two Shure SM7Bs, and I kid you not, I love both of these, without a doubt. I love the cable management on the Blue. I like the strength and structural integrity of the PSA1. So, if I'm going to make a recommendation on, okay, we'll base this off of build quality, style, and wire management. Score 1 to 10. We'll say a 2. Functionality does what it needs to do. Looks like crap. Looks cheap. You clearly know it's cheap. This one here, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of all the plastic, but I did like the wire management. But I wasn't a big fan of the manufacturer defects that they allowed to go out of the factory. But I do give it, I rank it highly as far as being able to hold the weight, and it just aesthetically it looks very appealing and pleasing. The PSA1, I'm going to have to give it a 7 as well, a 7 out of 10. Again, it's structural integrity, beautiful. Just an excellent all-around heavy-duty mic stand. Wasn't a big fan of wire management, and I wasn't a big fan of like the way they designed it down here. But all in all, I would take either one of these, and I would recommend these to anybody any day of the week. But guys, it's that time to say goodnight. I'm just kidding. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to check these out. And again, without a doubt, I highly recommend these. If you get the chance, make sure you guys check this out. Again, don't forget, me and Little Man do stream live on Twitch every Tuesday and Saturday. So if there is something here or a question that you have, jump in the chat, shoot me a message. I love talking tech and stream. So, and that's what we do a lot of. We do a lot of that. So, guys, thanks so much. Again, remember to keep transforming, and we'll see you again.
And just down the one on the roof. Oh, that was great. That was an easy pecker. That didn't even sound right. Sorry. Oh! I just did it again. I got a headshot.